Watch me get my desk ready, get this drawing planned out so we can start drawing. So we're just getting the desk ready, putting a nice clean surface on it. A lot of ink and stuff on there, taping it down so it doesn't move. Little side piece of paper here to do scratches on. Got my kneaded eraser key tool. Here's my charcoal pencils, pretty much a hard, medium, and soft general charcoal pencil. This is a really important tool. This is a lead holder. So I can buy different softnesses and hardnesses of lead and put it right in there. And got this sweet Helix tip maker. Another Faber-Castell, a B, another Faber-Castell, 2B. This big fat boy for big areas. I can also buy different thicknesses and sizes of leads for that. Another Faber-Castell 8B, love that pencil. Prismacolor F, another 2H pencil from, oh, and there's my 6H General. Blending Stumps, Tortillions, whatever you want to call them, super important tool as well. Everybody needs one of these if you draw, an electric eraser. Gotta have it. Different various blending tools.
You call that a knife?
I use these to sharpen my pencils. When your pencil gets short, you need that. So these are just graphite and charcoal stumps here. You can use to fill in areas when needed. Different textures. Cameo cloth. I usually cut these in pieces and use them for blending. Q-tips. That's what I started with. My hands get filthy already. Cotton ball, gotta have it. And this for sharpening pencils as well. Bristol, yeah, baby. Nice, fresh, white sheet of paper. And that's where all the junk goes, right there. That's where I sharpen my pencils into. Got a little sticker on it, in case you noticed. Here I'm just on the computer getting everything ready. So normally I don't do this, but there wasn't a lot of pictures of them out there, and I found this one. I know they're a little younger in it, but the joy in their faces really brought me to it, and I'll show you a closer picture up here in a second. I'm gonna basically take Will and bring him a little closer to his sister Danny here in the photo, and I'm just sitting here looking at them, thinking about what I want to do, and I thought that I had a decent idea in my head, and my printer broke, kind of. Well, my ink ran out, and I had to do to clean my heads and nozzles in it before I could get a good printout. As you can see, pretty nasty. All right, we got it printed out after a couple ink issues, and my printer just didn't want to cooperate. I had to clean the heads and the nozzles and whatever. Yeah, you got to roll with the punches, and nothing's ever as easy as it seems, and rarely does it go as planned. So here we are, look, this beautiful reference photo of Will and Danny. I'm super excited. I scoured the internet for so long looking for pictures, and this is what I landed on, and I'm super happy with it. There's nothing better as an artist than to find a reference for your subject when you're doing something like this. So check out my idea. So this is going to evolve, but we have this basic heart shape that it's going to be more pronounced in the drawing. And I think that speaks for itself and immediately has an effect with the viewer. It's just a universal symbol for love, and yeah, it works great. The bottom here, this whole bottom section, this is going to be clouds. So as if they're wrapped in clouds, sitting in clouds, looking down from above, with their joyful, ecstatic faces, smiling. And I'm going to put something in her hand as well. I'm not sure exactly what I want to put in Danny's hand. I just love the look on their faces here. I hope you guys do too. They couldn't look happier, and I think that's really important. Unfortunately, I can't talk this drawing onto the page. So it's about time for me to get started drawing. Oh man, and that's when everything really starts mentally for me as far as the creative part. Because I don't like pre-planning everything down to a T or mocking it all up or anything like that. I like to let it happen on the page. So what's going to happen with these clouds, I'm not sure. And what I'm going to put in her hand, I'm not sure. How their hair is exactly going to look, I don't know. And that's all super exciting for me, and that's part of the creative process. That's why I love doing this. I get to use my brain, and that's my favorite part of creating, is getting in that flow state and letting those ideas happen. Sometimes things happen on accident. A lot of the times for me, I love that. I love two things mostly. One is my Aunt Jenny handing this drawing off to grandmother. And in that moment, it's so important to me for that moment to be as special as it can be. And joy and release are two words that come to mind. Oh man, just I want to put the power of healing in this thing as best I can. And the second thing I'm envisioning is their grandmother, Will and Danny's grandmother. I want her to want to look at this every day. And I want that to be a healing thing for her, one of hope. And you know, there's a lot inside the two lives of Will and Danny that they're gone now. And I can't understand that part of it, but what I can try to do is be a conduit for healing in this every day for the rest of her life. And I don't know if any other family members will end up getting a print of this or something. I'll make sure that's possible. But now it's time for me to start the creative process, which is putting these pencils to use and letting my mind wander into these two spirits now that are going to grace this page. So I can't talk this drawing onto the paper, but I know I did promise you guys that I would be drawing in this video, and for the few people that are watching, I can't start this portrait right now, tonight. I have a lot of things going on besides this, and I'm a little cluttered right now, to be honest with you, mentally, in a good way, but that's not how I want to approach this, and that's not what I'm doing. So I'm going to try to draw some clouds. And yeah, I'm going to record that and you guys check it out.
Did you get ready in the dark or something? 'Cause you look like a beautiful nightmare. Don't you know? Don't judge me. I just wish you knew.
I'm not too worried about this staying perfectly clean. Normally when I draw with charcoal, I protect the white surfaces of the drawing. I'll use a piece of paper, or if you really want to protect something, you can use liquid Frisket. Let me speed this process up a little bit.
I think you're really cool.
Okay, so we're here, still drawing. It's starting to come along a little bit. Starting to see some clouds. Normally I wouldn't be this messy, but this is just kind of an exercise. This is where it's at, this chunk right here. Gets it done. So we'll just keep adding layers, taking away from it, adding to it. I kind of have a light source coming from this angle, I think. So, going to keep going until it starts looking more and more like clouds. Normally I wouldn't use my fingers either. I would have gloves on to keep my oils from my fingers from penetrating the paper. But right now, I'm not worried about that at all. Like I said, it's just an exercise. I suppose I should practice the way I plan to execute my process, but sometimes you just do art for fun and not worry about all the rules and the meaning and all that stuff. I remember the first time I drew. There was this face, this little face I drew. I don't know where I got it from. But it was just this little dude. See it? See the little guy? That's the first thing I ever drew that I remember. I mean, that I remember. Of course, I drew something before it, but I used to draw it on everything. I used to draw it on books, on the teacher's desk. Boy, I was a hellion when I was a kid. My daughter is a blessing. I can't imagine having to deal with me. I suppose she does have some of that in her somewhere. We'll see. We'll see. Well, Lil, if you're watching this, you don't want no part of that, do we? You really don't. So impressive, and thank God her mom is there for her too, to help guide her in the right direction. Even though her mom is no angel. She sure takes after both of us, or my daughter. And I'm so lucky. Suppose if you watched the beginning of this, you're maybe looking forward to me getting started on that portrait, as am I. And soon enough, just couldn't do it tonight. I have a couple projects that I'm working on, and some of them are a little more not non-artistic, but computer work, like doing logos or photo retouches or promos and infographics and things like that can be very, very time consuming. And it's not that I should be working on that, it's that I could be, but I'm not, and that's just fine. Drawing takes a long time. It can often be, it's very time consuming. It's the most time consuming thing that I do. I could probably design 20 shirts in a day, where it takes me days and weeks to do a portrait. I am trying to speed up my process a little bit, but not for lack of quality. And I guess I'm still learning how to, I'm just learning every day, and luckily I have time right now, and I won't always have this time, and I don't take it for granted at all. I'm curious to who will be watching this now or in the future. And it makes me think about what I'm leaving behind, because I'm not going to be around forever. And maybe my grandkids are watching this. Wow. Or your grandkids. Oh man. And that's kind of what makes me want to do art. It's just bigger than me. And I respect it in the people that do it so much. I admire so many artists. And I don't aspire to be any of them, but I mean, wow. Probably the first artist that grabbed me was Armin Mersman. Actually, this gentleman named Victor Brigida, and he is a surrealist painter, very religious, and I don't know what religion he is, but there was a lot of Bible references in his work, which I didn't come to realize that till later. Just pieces full of metaphor and story. It's just incredible stuff. It just puts my work to shame, I mean. But again, I don't aspire to be Victor Brigida. I'll put his work up on there somewhere. Armin Mersman. Good Lord. I can't imagine doing this drawing. It's huge. It's huge. It's like standing in front of the woods. I've never seen it in person, but I have a print of it in storage. And yeah, we'll speed this back up. Well, it's not perfect, but it's clouds. Clouds in the portrait won't be this style, but this was a good exercise. I want to thank everybody for watching. Appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.